Good evening. You join us live, just about eventually, for the 10th Effing F1 show, under the lights again for the second week in Bahrain for the Sakhir Grand Prix, which is in Sakhir. We're doing something different. We're watching the whole actual race with you today rather than just the last 20 laps. So tune in. It's join in the chat. I'm joined by Duff and our guest for the day, Aimee. Say hello, folks.
Hello.
So we're all just about right stream-wise. I think we're just watching them line up for the start. This is different. We normally watch the whole sort of race together anyway, and then we go live for the last 20 minutes. So, but this time we thought we'd do it differently. Hopefully it'll be a bit less fiery than last week's race.
Literally.
I noticed that they've done a decent repair job on the arm coat.
You can't even tell the difference now. They've even taken all the tyre marks off and everything. It looks like it never happened.
It never happened.
Mad.
Quick shout out to the chat. We've got Tamzanaki, hello, and a good eve to you. THFC Chaz1, hello. Nice for you to join us. Lights out on our screen. I'm not going to say it because I don't like Crofty.
Right, lights out.
Oh, Georgie boy's got a good start. He's done him. Yes, George.
Has he?
Get in
He
there,
has.
son. He's done him.
He's done it.
Bottless.
Get in.
Yes. Oh, Bottas has he got a puncture?
I don't know. Someone's gone. Someone's gone.
Go on, Max.
Yep. Someone's gone at the back.
Oh, and what's that?
Dear me.
Someone sideways. Oh, that's Perez.
Max.
That's
Max
a few
and
of them
Perez.
gone out.
Yeah. Oh, it's Max.
Charles, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Is that Charles?
Max is, that's done.
No.
That is done.
Oh, no.
Massive lead for
I thought it
George.
was
Come on,
Max's
Safety
George.
car. Safety car. We got a safety car. Who is it? Leclerc? Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, Leclerc and Max.
Yeah.
Quick shout out for Norris. Got up to 10th.
That's two big runners gone. Ricardo's fourth, my man.
Nice. Well.
Oh God, not quite as action packed, but not far
Is it
off.
like, are we somewhere near a full moon? Because this has just been ridiculous for 2 weeks on the trot.
It's chaos, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
And they're best mates as well.
Lando's made it up to P10, so he's made up 9
Yeah, it's
places.
a brilliant start.
3 corners
Go
or
Lando,
something.
go Lando. So Max and Leclerc gonna have a little chat. Nope.
No, they don't even want to look at each other.
No.
No, nothing.
He's kicking the wall. You see? Oh, he's pissed.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I don't think I've seen Max that annoyed for a while. Oh, who's coming into the pits?
Perez. He was the first one
Perez.
sideways. So I don't know if someone tapped him and there's no
puncher.
just tyre change, maybe a puncher, yeah.
Here we go then. Let's have a look what happened. Because I just kind of saw it at the back because I was too busy being happy for George racing away at the start. So he just gets squeezed, doesn't he? By the looks of it.
Yeah, George got the best start there.
Yeah, on the dirty side.
Yeah.
So he lifts off and then
Bottas broke late as well.
I thought he had a puncher there.
They all have a wobble through the second corner.
Yeah.
Was it?
Carlos is still behind Ricardo at this
lock
point.
Up. No one actually touched Max, did
Max? No. That's the gravel. That's gravel, that darker patch. He just had no control.
Yeah. He's just gone into the wall, isn't he?
Ooh.
Looking good for George, quite all right. What a great start for the boy.
Yeah. That's a Raikkonen. Just lost it.
Yeah, there's nothing he could do, is there? Straight into the gravel.
No.
You know, this comes back to a debate that we've had many a time, Def, about gravel and whether there should be gravel, whether because if that was tarmac, like in some of the other tracks that we moan about, he probably would have got away with that. He probably would have been able to turn.
Yeah,
but still glad
equally, the punishment there for Leclerc, if there wasn't tarmac, then he could have just got out of it as well.
I'm still glad there's gravel. There should be gravel on all the tracks. It's too easy otherwise. Oh, that's a bad mistake.
Oh, wow, yeah.
No, it's gravel.
Otherwise, they're all going to run wide. So Oh,
Kitty litter.
Oh no, Leclerc, his suspension was already damaged.
Oh, do you okay. Was that what it was then? Okay.
Yeah, look, you can see when he hits
Perez.
yeah, that's his suspension snapped.
That would explain it then. That's fair enough. Yeah, 'cause he didn't actually hit Max. It was just Max couldn't do anything about it by the looks of it.
No, he just one side of him has got Perez heading towards him. The other side, gravel.
Mr. Horner's not amused, is he? Feel for Charles after such a good quality. Yeah, absolutely.
Is Starboy gone?
Oh, they're having a chat.
Well, yeah, that means the star's got to be Albon now, which is good luck.
Oh,
Yeah, good luck to that one. It's,
is there a star in
no.
Albon?
Sadly not. Well, I mean, I'm saying no. There wasn't in Gasly 2 years ago when he was in a Red Bull, but he seems to be doing all right this year, and he's won a race as well.
I think the going back down's made him more determined, though.
I think you're right. So what do we got? We got the two Mercs, Sainz, Danny Rick.
The fact that Albon is currently 12.
But the fastest lap is Latifi currently.
No.
Yay, Williams. Come on, Williams.
We haven't even done a full lap.
Out of context 2020.
Isn't that his installation lap?
No.
Must have been, yeah. No, we haven't done a full lap at Racing Speed yet, have we? So we got, who else? So Norris got up to 10th. K-Mag didn't do too bad. He's up to 11th.
Yeah. We've got Perez at the back of the grid now after that. Raikkonen after his spin, which I suppose it means Fittipaldi and Jake Aitken, 15th and 16th. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was pleased to see 8 can get that seat, to be honest.
Yes.
Cracking start from George. So impressive for his first race in Double 11. Correct. Yeah, he did a great start. Considering we were thinking that he'd have a bad start because he was on the bad side of the grid.
My question now is how he will cope with the safety car restart.
That's
with
true.
Backing the field up, and how we'll kind of do that restart, because he could lose it there.
Yeah, because he won't have done one since Formula 2, will he?
Yeah.
As in leading,
But equally, this is why he's been put in that seat. He is not some, average driver. He will be a world champion. There's kind of like no doubts about it. So
definitely,
he's got to do it at some point. And he's got
onboard radio.
Him,
Sorry, Dick. It was just Max's radio was just like bleep. Everything was bleep. But no, I do agree. I think George will be a future world champion. But then I think there's a lot of that about, everyone says Leclerc will be future world champion, George Russell, future world champion, and all this. It'd be interesting to see this generation as they come through and where they end up. Not making mistakes like that. Oh, dear.
The question then becomes if... Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
If George wins this race, Lewis isn't back for the last Grand Prix, and George races again, does that justify... Surely that's got to be bad for Lewis, because then there's no justification for Mercedes to pay £120 million a year for him when George can do the same thing for probably less than half.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I wouldn't pay 120 million quid for Lewis Hamilton.
And this is what Karoom was saying on Twitter as well. I think the thing with Lewis is he's not just a driver, he's a superstar. You don't have to watch F1 to know who Lewis is. And that's what you're paying for, I think. As well as, you're paying for his titles as well. But I don't know. They'd be stupid not to sign Lewis, but it could be like, look, if you want 60 million, we'll pay 50 because we could get George for about half. So
George probably do it for free. I certainly would. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, like, I think
get it all in spot.
Yeah, I mean, like Chaz has put in the
here we
chat,
go.
Lewis will gain them a lot of money in other areas. Yeah, but I see that, but I don't think Mercedes need that exposure now. They might have done it at the start when they first came in as Mercedes. They needed a Lewis Hamilton style exposure, but I don't think they need that now.
Oh, he's off on
Here
one.
we go.
We are green. Well done,
What?
Georgie boy. That'll do. He's gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Carlos is right behind Bottas.
He's going to send it. He's going to send it.
But do we
He's
think
done
that
him. Yes! Well done, Sainz.
Come on, Carlos.
Oh, he's stuffed it.
Oh.
Bottas is at it again? Oh.
There's going to be a lot of
Carlos
slipstreaming.
is still fighting. Fighting all the way.
I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth, isn't there? You get them on one
The
straight.
thing is, while they're fighting, Danny Rick's getting closer and closer to the back of them.
The amount they will gain will compensate for next year.
I also think the Renault is quick.
It's a fast car. Certainly got the power. The amount of money they will gain will compensate for the extra money they spend on the contract. So you may as well choose a better driver in Lewis. I suppose, yeah, if you were doing it on current form, Lewis is the best driver out there. Oh, did I just say that? I feel dirty. Yeah, that's a fair point, Chaz, to be fair. I think
what everyone wants to see is Lewis and George. Get rid of Bottas.
On,
I don't think many people miss Bottas. We'd love to see a proper. I think that'd be a proper fight.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at some of the greatest seasons in Formula One, when you had sort of Senna and Prost ding dong every single race, they were at each other, passing each other, racing each other, and that makes an exciting championship.
Lewis Button, what a great season when they were both at McLaren.
Yes, absolutely. We all lived it.
I even think when Nico was there, like there was actual competition between the drivers.
Yes.
You could go into a race weekend and be like, I'm not sure who would win, but now you're like, yeah, Lewis will win, and then Bottas will win if Lewis has an off day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like predictable.
Yeah,
just think we want some more unpredictability back in the sport.
Bottas is very much a number 2, isn't he? Where Nico and Lewis, they were both wanted to be number 1.
Albon's got himself up to 10th, just as a note. Russell's fastest lap.
Oh,
Vettel's just got past him.
Is that a problem?
I thought that, yeah.
No, it's just where the old corner is, but of course they're going straight on now, aren't they? They're not going past it. So it looks like they've flown off the track, but they haven't. It's okay.
Oh. It just looks like a really weird line to take turn 4.
I think it's the angle that they would have had before when they were turning towards the camera, isn't it? But instead they're going like a flying past it, aren't they?
Because, yeah, I thought he had some sort of problem as well.
Well done, Lando, again, up to 8th. Or 9th, whichever one that was. They're just like slipstreaming. This is like watching IndyCar, but Formula One. It's great.
Yeah.
More of this, please. More of this Formula One. If you're listening, I'm sure you are.
I think we've missed this. We don't want no more street races. We want old tracks, good tracks. Not a fan of the Saudi Arabia, new race coming next year. We want Mugello. That's what I think anyway.
I think it's been quite refreshing, isn't it? To be fair, this season, with all the old school tracks like Imola, and I was looking forward to Zandvoort. To be fair, so hopefully that's on next year. I was thinking of going to that one this year, but obviously we didn't go. Yeah, more of those. I mean, this is a decent track, to be fair.
Yeah, I was thinking about going.
I quite like this one. Go on.
I like Bahrain, but I think with this year we got rid of the tracks that everyone just, when you see it and you're like, ugh, we're off to this track again. We got rid of them this year, and everyone's been excited by this new evolution. Like, the money tracks as it is, like they were gone this year, and it was just refreshing.
I think it's only Canada that I've really missed. I like Canada. It's a nice track, but it's a fair point. I mean, I can't say I've missed Monaco, if I'm honest. Monaco just doesn't really do it for me anymore.
I haven't missed Monaco.
No. So what were both of your plans then for going to races this year?
I was gonna try and get to Belgium. I was going to Silverstone, but I didn't go, obviously. And then I wanted to try and go to Holland, but I couldn't go because of when it was. But Belgium always works out well because it's a bank holiday here, so you can come back on like the Monday and you don't lose time with work and stuff. But that was my plans. All ruined.
I went to Silverstone, absolutely gutted, and I wanted to go to Silverstone again next year, but it looks like I'm going to be in America for the entire European season. So no F1 for me next year.
That's
and
harsh.
I'm so
That's
upset.
harsh.
If you're already in like America, just go to Texas.
Oh, I am not. I have to come back for final year uni, so September, just as they go over to America. So I
see.
literally miss
Yeah.
it all.
Oh,
I am
That
fuming.
is
gutting.
that is bad news.
So it's like the only one I could go to is either Spain, but obviously travel restrictions are going to be a bit, hit and miss. It's not worth it for a 2-week quarantine.
No,
Or Monaco. I'm not going to Monaco on Javelin mission.
no, that's true.
If you do Monaco, you do it in style.
Oh yeah, I need to win. If I was going to do it, like I'd want to do it properly. The whole shebang, yacht on the marina. Yeah, that'd be nice. That's the only way.
Yeah, on a yacht.
That's the only way I'd want to do it.
Champagne. I'm not sitting on a camping
Oh God,
chair in
no. One does not slim it when one is in Monaco. Speaking of not slimming it, George is still keeping his 1.8 second lead. Well done, Boyo.
Yeah, that's a great lead.
Just as long as he stays out of DRS, in theory, should be all right.
I
Where's the
wonder if-
beast, my man? Sorry.
Ricardo's catching.
I wonder if Sainz has just decided to pull back to see if they can get him in the pit stops, because he's massively dropped back now.
He said on his pit radio just then that his deployment's not working right, so he could be.
Okay.
He could have a problem with that potentially. Whether it means it's not deploying at the right time or whether it's not charging, they didn't really say, but it came up on the team radio. They actually put it on, when they typed it for once, which was better. Roasted Beast, nice for you to join us. Hope you're well, my friend. You got the race on.
I think Kvyat's been quite strong all
I
weekend,
noticed him.
up to 5th. Like, he's got a strong chance of being on the podium,
Yeah.
like an outside chance.
He qualified
So
really
how-
well. He was
what
good
would it be,
in
the
all
12th?
three.
I hadn't spotted that he'd got up to 5th. Gasly's in 7th as well.
Oh,
And Honda's.
a big look up from Bottas there.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Seems that Honda's got some legs.
Dropped 3/10.
I think Bottas staying second is really going to affect him, because the whole thing this weekend he's been saying that is, it would look really bad if I lost to George. And now he is.
That's 2.2 seconds now as well.
Yeah.
Albon, I'm so slow in the straights. Well, what do you want?
Tell me something new, please.
Absolutely. It's about that time when we're due a bit of a trivia.
Yeah, go for it.
So
Hit me with the trivia.
okay, so we'll see if you guys know it first. We'll go with an easy one. The first F1 World Championship was held in 1950 and was won by an Italian driver driving an Italian car. So the driver was Nino Farina, but which car was he driving?
The winning one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the winning one.
Yes.
Alpha, correct. Well done. Good work. Yes.
To Alfa Romeo.
Spot on. And then a random fact: the first ever can of Red Bull energy drink was sold in the same year that Vettel was born, 1987. There you go. That's a very random one.
It's weird to think it's that old, because I don't remember seeing Red Bull till I was in Austria in about 2003, 4. I think that's my first memory of what Red Bull was.
I can't really remember now. Seems like it's always been there for me. Which if it's 1987, I'd have been 5.
I was going to say
for us older people. Yes.
I was going to say I'm probably a bit younger than you guys, so it's always been around. But then I don't know. I still get ID'd for Red Bull now, and I'm 21, so it's a bit of a joke.
Yeah, that is fair. So, Aimee, how long have you been into Formula One and motorsport in sort of general? We might as well have a chat whilst the boring bit of the race is on.
So, boring bit. I've been a fan since 2011, and it's because I couldn't find the TV remote. It was when it was on BBC. Literally could not find the TV remote. I was like, I give up. I cannot be bothered to change the channel. I don't know what race it was, but I was absolutely fascinated. And from then, like, the rest is history. I'm a complete and utter obsessed with F1.
That's a pretty cool story. I loved the BBC coverage back with Jake and the rest of it.
Good old Jake.
Jake. I didn't mind Susie Perry either. I thought she did quite a good job.
Yeah.
Like, it took her like a season to get going, but once she did, she was decent.
Absolutely. I think if they could replace Simon with Jake, we'd all be happy. I think it'll be. Or Susie, I don't mind either way. It'll be fine. But, I mean, like, he does a good job for the football on the BT Sport, but it's not the same. His love-ins with Cool Dad and stuff used to make me laugh. It was hilarious, the two of them, with their pink shirts or whatever they'd be wearing.
Oh.
Those were the good old days.
I think DC's such a good pundit as well.
Yes.
Like, he can properly explain it to you, like you don't know anything, and he just explains it. And after a few years, you actually have quite a good knowledge because of him explaining it. And I don't quite think Sky do the same job, in my opinion.
No, I think Sky is sometimes aimed more at the seasoned viewer, shall I say? There's a good way of putting it. Rooster Beast says, Rhys, you're only 2 years older than me, so not that old. Thank you, Rooster Beast. I feel better for that. I feel young-ish, But, yeah, that's, I guess, I'm only 38, so not that old, I guess.
Still makes you the oldest. Not that I'm saying.
Come on, that's it. I'm done. No more for me. It's, dear. So Jez found you from your blog, Grid Talk Motorsport on Twitter, and you talk about the difficulties that, as sort of being a woman, you sort of find it hard being taken seriously in sort of motorsport conversations. How did you end up writing the blog, and what can people expect to read in it? And give yourself a damn good plug.
Let's plug it. So me and my friend Charlie Louise is on Twitter. If you don't follow her, we created this together basically because in lockdown we're both furloughed. We were like, we are bored. What shall we do? And we are both have been in sports since like 2011, 2012, and we just wanted to put our passion into something that people can relate to, because I feel like F1 is a niche, but not a niche. Like, in normal day, you won't find many F1 fans, but online you find a lot. So we were like, right, let's just write what we love about F1 and our experiences. So we sort of write quite a lot. So, well, it's quite new actually, but we've written like about George, the Roman crash, obviously, our opinions on how we've perceived online as F1 fans, as women, which is something that I don't know if anyone's aware, but you actually get a lot of stick and just go, you only watch it because you find the men attractive. Sorry, I didn't realise tire degradation and strategy was attractive, but each to their own. And yeah,
I find it attractive.
We just write what we enjoy.
No, that's good. That's good. I've had a read of a couple of them now. Really cool. It's really good to have you. It's great. We love having guests. So on the race, where he's still got it's 1.9. We'll call it 2 seconds. What's the 10th between friends? Sainz still in third, although Danny Rick is all over him by the looks of it. So who are we on with? It's Albon. Sorry. Oh, don't take notes.
Well, yes, the only Red Bull left.
Yeah, I know. That's a good point, Dad.
So do we think Alex Albon is going to be replaced with Perez? Or do we think they're going to
I kind of hope. I think it's crazy that Perez doesn't have a drive next year.
But if you go back,
he was at the back of the grid a minute ago. He's already up to 10th.
Yep.
He's flying through the field. He's doing such a good job this season. Yet, why is there no team with him in? It's crazy. He's
the fastest unemployed man on this planet.
Yeah. Norris in the pits.
It's very true. Oh,
I think that.
I just think he's.
I don't think he'll be in Formula One next year. I mean, if you go back a year ago, people were saying the same thing about Ocon not having a seat. Oh, he's great, blah blah blah. He's not got a seat. Why hasn't anyone signed him? And he's come back and hasn't really done much this year. But I think Perez is better than Ocon anyway. But I don't. It's pretty much Red Bull or bust for him, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, he's a consistent point scorer, and I think Red Bull need to be able to play strategy with Mercedes, because they are getting there. Their pace is nearly there, but how can they play with Mercedes when Albon is in 10th? They are the second fastest car on the grid. Yes, you do have Max Verstappen as your teammate, but you have to be up there, and I just don't think he's shown that. Whether it's the car, whether it's toxic environment, but it's just not working.
Perez just stuck some manners on Albon when he went past him anyway. Then,
yeah, I totally agree. I think Albon has had something to prove these last few races. I know they say that the Red Bull garage is Max's, and like you said, that kind of I don't know, that mental thing that the garage is his and not Albon's, but they've both got the same car.
You've just got to be a strong character, haven't you, and sort of rise above it. That's easier said than done. But I think I'd like to see Perez in it. I don't think we will, but I don't think it'll be Albon either. I'm not sure who it'll be. I'd prefer to see Hulk in it personally, but we'll see.
Hulk's not got a podium though, and I think psychologically that's just going to get to him. You know, Perez has got that podium. There's nothing. He hasn't got a race win, but he can score points consistently, be on that podium. But Hulk is he freezes. He gets to third. He's like, I can't do it.
I can't go any further. I don't know what number 2 and number 1 is. No, it's a fair point. So, where's Danny? Oh, Danny Rick has dropped back a couple of seconds as well from Sainz. So maybe they fixed his engine.
Is Stroll still in this, or did he go out initially? Oh no, he's 6th. Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Very uneventful day for him.
Well, perhaps Daddy will buy him a yacht to cheer him up. or a scooter. I don't know.
Oh, a Lewis scooter.
Please let me know if he's using the curbs. I can probably go a 10.5, 2 tenths quicker a lap. So George is asking if Bottas is using the curbs or not, because he's been told not to.
Well, because obviously they had that issue in Austria at the start of the year on the curbs, and their cars just completely died on them.
Yeah.
So he's probably just protecting Lewis's cars. I guess he doesn't want to smash it. That'd be a bit embarrassing for George.
And a few of the races this season, they've had major tyre problems as well on the curbs.
They have.
And a few races, they even had real problems getting temperature into them as well. I wonder if there's something on the bodywork, perhaps, that's kind of pulling more air through and keeping the tyres and the brakes cooler.
MOKKA just told George that Valtteri is using more curb than him, so I guess that's the crack on.
That almost sounds a little like Fernando is faster than you.
Please
Bottas is using more curb than you.
So now if George starts doing that, George reckon he could go 2 tenths faster on his radio message if he was using the curb. So he's gonna. Right. I'm assuming he's now going to start doing that.
Yeah, because he's always within Bottas.
No, that's just how much faster.
No.
He's 1.8.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that meant he was in DRS for a minute there. I was like, what?
No.
That was quick.
I just think it's amazing that George is in the wrong size shoes. His shoulders are a lot broader than Lewis, and he's smashing Bottas.
There we are. It's over 2 seconds now.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's driven this car.
He was really bruised after Friday.
I would imagine so.
Not that there's much body fat to George as it is.
Yeah. There ain't much to him, is there? We're faster, but we're just not raceable, says Albon, apparently. That doesn't really make sense, does it?
Sounds like an excuse.
It does.
Sounds like a massive excuse.
I'm sorry, the kid's going to have to go.
Max complains on the radio, but he doesn't say this. How Max consistently gets 5, half a second out of the car per lap than Albon. I just don't get it. How is there that much of a difference? Because as a team,
it's not like Ferrari, is it? Yeah, we know Ferrari has the fuck Vettel button, but I don't think that Red Bull have got one for Albon.
No,
I think he's just slower.
Yeah, I mean they must have pressed the fuck Vettel button this weekend again. Where is he? 11th. Wow, 6 seconds behind Albon.
The amount of times Ferrari, in Q2 especially, put Ferrari on the Vettel on the mediums, and everyone can tell Vettel cannot get through Q2 in the mediums. He has to be on the softs, and they just don't do it. What is their strategy? I think I could do a better job sitting in my bedroom than them on the pit wall. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, you'd think
frankly.
You think they'd at least want the team points to get both their drivers in the top 10, but they just don't seem to care anything about Vettel at all.
No, you're right. Because I mean, it's kind of like the Red Bull, isn't it? Where they both want to be scoring points, team game, and all of that malarkey. They don't seem to be getting anywhere with that.
Especially because Ferrari were kind of 2 races ago, they were in with a chance of possibly being third.
Yes.
But are they still getting their inheritance money? Because maybe they're like, while we get it, let's just not perform and just take the money from Bernie.
Oh yeah, they still get their veto as well.
Yes, they do.
That's it. So maybe they're just like, we'll do it while we can. We'll rebuild for 22.
Fastest lap.
I think Benito's just awful. Like, bring back
I agree.
Arriva Benny. I can never say his name properly.
Arriva Benny.
That's it.
Well, we're getting Dominicale back. He was probably one of my favourite Ferraris.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
I think he'd be a very good CEO.
Stefano. See, this is a nice little bonus. I went to pick up what I thought was a Red Bull from the Fridge of Love, but it is in fact a orange gin and tonic. Oh, fantastic!
Oh, there you go.
Don't mind if I do.
All you need now is your yacht, and you'll be in Monaco.
Yay! and about 35 degrees and some sun from the sunlight, and I'd be away. Oh, that is nice. Anyway, Science is coming into the pits by the looks of it. Box.
Right, so we've got a few people watching that obviously aren't watching the race. So if you're not watching, thanks for listening. Anyway, it's
absolutely
definitely worth watching a race if you can get to at least see it on the telly, if not in real life, because it's so worth it.
Absolutely. And the experience of actually watching a race live is completely different to watching it on TV, because you don't know quite so much what's going on. But as a weekend experience and a weekend away, sort of camping with sort of mates and stuff, it's a fantastic weekend away. And the good thing is you can take as much beer as you can drink in as much as you can carry into the track, which is great.
Do you remember your first F1 car that you saw live? Kind of like in. It
was a Red Bull. What year did we go to Silverstone, Jez? Because that was my first race. Was it 2016? I think. Good. Or was it 2012? 2012. 2012. That was it. Because we went for the last year of the V8s before they went to hybrid. And, that's
very nice.
So you got that lovely sound as well.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That was the main reason we went, because my dad's a massive fan of Formula 1 as well, and he hadn't been since the 70s, and he said, I want to go and hear it one last time before they ruin it. And then we went the year after as well, so we could compare the difference, and they ruined it. The only place it sounded semi-decent was 2 years ago when I went to Belgium, but I think that's because it was just echoing, because it's all quite hilly and stuff. It did sound louder, but nowhere near as loud as it should be.
Yeah.
I'd definitely recommend that as a road trip to anyone that fancies getting away for a long weekend, because it's bank holiday weekend generally as well. You can drive over.
I tell you, one of the best places I found was Goodwood. Goodwood Festival of Speed, when you get all the different eras going up the hill, and you get to hear the full array of sounds from over the decades. It's just unreal. Absolutely unreal.
I haven't done Goodwood, but it's on my list to do. Because I literally, my dad lives about 20 minutes from Goodwood, and I've just never gone. So I definitely need to go.
Since we've lived down south, Goodwood's only about an hour away, so it's perfect. And such a good day out. Yeah,
I've always fancied it. It's whenever I watch it on sort of TV, and it seems a lot more popular TV wise now than it used to be. I always watch it going, I love that car. Oh, I love that car. Or like when they got the old sort of sleeker rally cars and stuff like that flying up the hill. I think, I'd love to hear that. So yeah, that's that would be cool. We could do an F1 at Goodwood.
we just do F1 on tour. Done. We'll go everywhere.
Next year, Jeff, we'll just go everywhere. It'll be fantastic.
So what was your first F1 car?
So I went to Spa in 2014. That was my first race. And the first car I saw was Jules Bianchi in his Marussia. And it literally was like, my dad was like, because my dad took me, it was my birthday present. And he was like, that look, I will never forget it. Because I literally just was like, oh my God. It was like amazing. And I just love Spa. I've been to Spa 4 times and it's the best track on the calendar without a doubt. You cannot beat Eau Rouge either.
Nice.
I didn't appreciate just how steep it is until I stood at the bottom of it, and you look up at it and you go, "Oh, I wouldn't even want to walk up there, let alone do anything else." God,
walking up it is the most painful experience because it's literally about 40 degrees. And you're there like, I can't get up. It's the one thing I can't. Once I get there, I'm like, I've got to walk up Eau Rouge.
Because when I was there last, they had at the bottom of Eau Rouge, like a viewing area, and then there's this cottage thing up on the top of Rouge, and and you stood on this platform, and there was a camera pointed at you, and it took a picture like a zoom. It was like a zoom sort of picture. You could zoom in on. Just shows how far down you are compared to it. It's really cool. Very cool.
Well, that's it then. F1 show. Spa. Tour to Spa.
I'm in. Absolutely.
Get as many people as we can. Have our own little camping area.
That would be
sorted.
Oh.
We didn't realise, but Kvyat's got the undercut on Ricciardo through the pit stop.
Wow.
Well spotted. He's done him. Yeah, he's in front, isn't he?
Yeah, by nearly 3/4 of a second. Well, just over 3/4 of a second.
And
so I'm not sure if something went wrong on the pit stops for Daniel there, or he's too busy chatting.
Yeah, young George is 2.7 now.
It'll be interesting to see who they pit first.
Well,
it's got to be George, surely. Race leader.
The leader, whoever's in front, in theory, gets the call. That's what they say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Depends
and they're on a different
how he feels on the tyres.
Because they started on the mediums and everyone else was on softs, so
that's true.
You would have thought they've got quite a few laps left.
Yeah, they'll go about 50, I would have thought, give or take.
It'd be even crazier then. Can you imagine if they're so far ahead on the mediums? If they go onto the softs, it's just going to be bye-bye rest of the field.
This shows the difference. Like Max is almost the filter between them. He's like, maybe 10 seconds off by this point. But 23 seconds to Stroll. I know Stroll hasn't pitted and they haven't pitted, but this is why it gets annoying as fans. Like, you like competition and like obviously George is in it, so it's unpredictability. But if Lewis was in it, we'd be watching the same old. You can put a bet on it. You're probably going to get like £1 back. It's just frustrating, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it is, I think, pretty sort of shocking for Bottas if George beats him. And yeah, I think that's a proper indictment of just how average a driver Bottas is. Or does it show how superhuman George is? Only time will tell.
I think it then becomes a point of clearly Bottas is an average. People say, "Oh, it's mostly the car," but Bottas then, if Russell does him easily, I think that is a case of an average driver in a good car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, go.
It's okay. It just kind of goes to show that even if you are in a really good car, you still need to be a good driver.
Yes, you do.
Mm.
So Bottas, George's tyres, they're saying, are in the red on 3 out of the 5 on the graphic. But he's still 2.6 seconds there, and it's going up. It was 2.4 last lap, so he's gone quicker again, which is good. Let's hope.
And I'm not sure if Mercedes originally wanted George in for next season, because I know Claire literally tied him down before she left. That was like her one thing, was to keep George for another year for Williams for that progression and hopefully them getting points. So that's why they signed Bottas on a 1-year deal. But I wonder now if Mercedes are like, shit, we made a mistake in not buying George out, not paying Williams that extra money. But then again, why would you change a winning recipe? You've got Lewis and Bottas, they win.
Yeah.
You would imagine that if Mercedes really wanted George Russell in the car next year, they'd go to Williams. Oh, we'll knock a few million quid off your engine bill. Williams go, oh, thank God. Yep, go on then, crack on. And I don't think it'll be a problem. But yeah, I mean, like they've done for this weekend, there's obviously some sweetness somewhere. They must have done something to say, we'll knock a million quid off your engine bill or something daft like that. And, what have we got in the chat? Turkey showed the size of the gap between them and showed how damn good Lewis is. Yeah, fair play. There is a big gap between them. We'll be lucky if any countries let us in after this year. Yeah, true. It's true. And hopefully by next sort of summer, when at least when Silverstone and Belgium come around, we'll be able to get in somewhere.
Get the vaccine, and then you're off. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to make a massive difference to next year, definitely.
I know Lewis is an anti-vaxxer, so with him getting COVID now, he is. So I wonder if we get the vaccine. I mean, I guess F1 might just put their foot down and say you have to get it. Like, you've got no option. But with him getting COVID now, and obviously no one really knows how his body's reacted, but he isn't asymptomatic. So it'd be quite interesting to see what his thoughts are post-COVID.
Some of you will probably sort of remember that Lewis earned a couple of race points the other week when he did a shoey on the podium. I can now confirm he's lost those race points. Idiot. Absolute idiot. Don't get me started, folks. He's on a different show. But the way we're going here, I tell you. Race. That's what. 2.7 seconds now, folks. Happy days.
Yeah, Russell came on the radio and said that his tyres are feeling absolutely fine.
Probably compared to how they'd feel in a Williams, they are, I'd imagine.
Yeah. But that then brings up another question, because there's been a lot of talk recently with Mick Schumacher going to Haas. Do you think, because I suppose in a way I kind of think this a little, that it's better in a way for someone to start with a smaller team, to have that kind of, when it goes wrong and you're not at the front, this is what it feels like. So you kind of go through a bit of the heartache, a bit of the car's stopped, this has happened, that's happened, so that when you get in that front runner, you're more prepared. Because when George had that crash under the safety car, I mean, he felt really bad, but that was only in a Williams. Could you imagine if he'd have jumped straight in that Merc and had that?
Yeah.
It would have been unconsolable. But now he's had that kind of, this goes wrong, this does that. It's made him so much stronger now to be in that Merc.
I think Max. Definitely. I think Max is having a rant from what I can hear. They're interviewing him on Sky. I don't really know what they were doing. You hear bits of it, so that could be quite funny if anyone's listened to that. So 2.2. So they've got to be lining up pit stops, I reckon, in the next 8 or 9 laps, which is only like 10 minutes. So we'll see.
So then, what do you think for like Mick and for George?
Mick and George, I think Haas is good for Schumacher. To be fair, I think I'm pretty similar to you in that it'll give him a season or two to get hold of it. I mean, if you think for the refresh in 2022 with the new rules and regs would be a good time to stick him in a Ferrari if he's had 2 years of it, potentially. Because I think that Sainz has only signed a 1-year contract at Ferrari, hasn't he?
Yep.
I thought it was 2 years.
Yeah. Charles...
Not too sure.
In interviewer, Charles has taken the blame. Max says, good, he should. I love Max.
What's a Max comment?
Oh, he doesn't mince his words, does he?
That's fantastic. Fantastic.
Max is definitely a Marmite personality. You either love him or you hate him, and there's no in between.
I've normally got my Max cap on, but I've left it downstairs.
Welcome again to Future Wolfington. Hope you're doing all right.
Hey, dude. Hope you're well. Hope you're well.
Going back to the Mick Schumacher thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, sorry.
I think Mick is going to have a challenge no one else has ever faced. He's his dad is arguably the GOAT. If is Lewis the GOAT, is Michael the GOAT? They're two different eras, really. But he's the biggest. That's the biggest surname that F1 has ever seen, and he's got to live up to that. And I think if he's at the back of the pack, there's going to be expectation, but there won't be. You've got to win because he's in a Haas, and he's got Nikita Mazepin, who is going to be interesting in itself.
And the daddy's boy.
He's just an idiot, quite frankly, I think. But I think he just needs to settle down. Like, the media is going to be horrendous on him, especially for the first half of the season next year, and just got to settle down. It can't be. It must be tough for Mick because no one knows the condition of Michael either. Is he responsive? Does he even know what's happening with Mick? That must be really hard because he is only 21 as well. So,
yeah, I was. I think I was watching Ted do a thing on it the other day, and he was saying that Michael's wife, when he retired the first time, she was so happy that he'd finally retired, and it's like great. And I wonder how now that Mick's decided his way is into F1, that kind of, if that worries almost come back.
You think so, wouldn't you? Yes,
yeah.
And I think it must be different as well, like your husband and your son. Like, I feel that's completely different because it's that classic thing of you don't want your son to get hurt. If it's your husband, you're a bit like, it is what it is, But it must be hard for her, but she must be so proud.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel for
battle going on between Stroll and Ocon.
Yeah,
he's always
kind of doing something for once.
Chaz in the chat, you're quite right there, my friend. I feel for Mick. He's always going to be living in Michael's shadow, always known as Michael's son. Needs to create his own legacy. Correct. Future Wolferdin's made pancakes. Excellent. What did he have on those pancakes? I quite fancy some pancakes.
Bacon and maple syrup, hopefully.
Oh yes, absolutely. Other pancake toppings are available. Oh God! Did Ocon get past him? Yes, he did. Good. See you, daddy's boy. Crack on. So
it's crazy when your dad buys you a team.
Yeah. Idiot.
I mean, if your dad could buy you a team, I don't think you'd complain either, though.
Oh God, no. No. But I wouldn't race in it unless I was good enough.
I think Stroll. I am. I'll be like, lol, daddy's boy. But he has proved himself. He didn't get that pole for nothing in Turkey.
No, very
obviously
true.
He did hit his mechanic was a bit, and he did have a bit of an off race in where was it? Portimao.
Yes.
When he just whacked Max and then had hit someone else. I feel like he's one of those drivers. He's very inconsistent. He kind of reminds me of Grosjean. Like, on his day, he's phenomenal, but he
Russell's
just needs to sort out his.
Yeah.
Russell's in the pits.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on, George.
Please, Merc, do not mess this up.
At least he went to the right pit box, didn't he? We've launched our Effing Racer of the Week. You can put exclamation mark vote, and then the short names you can see in the chat there to register your vote. So just to see who we can curse next week. Who did we curse this week, Duff? Can you remember who won it last week?
Well, yeah. There was only one person to win it last week.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Roman.
Yes. Of course, we gave it a Grosjean, didn't we, last week? So that's carried over to Fittipaldi because he's in his car, and guess what? He's last. So there we are. That's another successful week.
To be fair, if Grosjean hadn't had that crash, he probably would have been last as well.
That's true. His K-Mag's not doing much better either. He's
but
50.
Jack Aitken still stayed ahead of Kimi.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Which is
4
great.
seconds ahead as well.
But it does mean that for the first race in a year or two, that Latifi's actually beating his teammate.
You'd think so, because he's another daddy's boy that,
yes,
could put his foot down. Because I think Latifi, personally, has been shocking. If there's a spin, it's Latifi. I think he spun just about every track this year, and it kind of goes under the radar because he's at the bottom. I just think Nick de Vries deserved that seat more than he did, and he's just a bit. Ugh. I don't get why he's there. He could walk past me in a shop and I wouldn't know.
I feel that if Latifi was in a higher up team, he'd be another Maldonado.
Yes.
I think he'd be one of those quite risky drivers.
So George is just trying to find out what the default 35 means. He said, "What's that?"
I don't know if you saw after quali, Bono was like, "Just knock it into P0." He was like, "How do I do that?" So he has taken
is it like the menu scroll or something? Lewis has it inverted.
Oh, right, yeah.
When George got into it, they had to change a lot because obviously, his menu normally goes one way and a couple of the buttons had to be swapped. And
it's like if you're playing COD, isn't it? People have it on an inverted axis.
Yeah, I can't do invert. No, that's crazy.
Daft, isn't it? I don't know.
Up has to be up.
That's for the young'uns, that Duff. It's for the young'uns. So he's 1.8 seconds lap quicker, so that should put him out miles back in front.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. 17 seconds behind Bottas, and Bottas is due to go for a pit stop. So how long is pit stop here? It's about 26 seconds?
Yeah.
No, it's not that long.
It's 22, I think, 22, 23. So
24. That was a slow stop from Perez, and it was 24. So probably 22, 23.
Sweet. That'll do then.
So we could be looking at a 7-second lead here. Because he's taken so much time.
I mean, at least one thing for George, having that big of a lead and being out front, it kind of almost lets you relax a little.
Definitely.
He can kind of go into autopilot, which he might not have been done before because he's always, at the back, sort of with Seb, always fighting. But he probably hasn't experienced this, just going into autopilot, just almost like simulator stuff.
I tell you one thing that must be horrible, that if Lewis does come back next week, he's got to go back in that Williams.
And then he'll get lapped like 2 or 3 times, and it's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Bottas
Can you imagine that? That's 1 week of it all, and then, next week it's like, woo, 16.
Jez has called a slow stop for Bottas. Like, you never know, Jez. No, it was a good
stop.
Right,
Bottas is in.
No.
It's, we've got Jez has also got the NFL on. Of course, we're a lot later than usual, so we're interrupting the NFL season for
Who have the Bears got this week?
That's a good question. I don't know.
He's not listening, so Bears are rubbish.
That's it. The stream's ended. We're done. We've gone dark. We've gone dark.
Russell's got an 8-second advantage, so he's taken 6 seconds just to do through the pit stops.
Amazing.
Yep, we'll take that. We'll take that.
Surely this has to bring up the Bottas. How is Bottas this slow? Normally with Lewis, fair enough, but
Bottas. That's all I can say. Ooh. He's a good qualifier, and no one can deny that.
Apparently,
but his race, he doesn't fight wheel to wheel, and I can't remember the last time he fought wheel to wheel with someone successfully. And when he's actually won a race outright.
George was just told to take it a bit easier on turns 7 and 8 on the curb, apparently.
But the one thing I always remember from Nico in that winning season is he realised how aggressive he needed to be. And I just don't think I could ever see Bottas being that aggressive.
Yeah.
Bottas doesn't play the mind games to the extent Nico did. And Nico and Lewis had such bad mind games. I feel like maybe newer fans don't actually realise how dirty it got between them because we just haven't seen that in recent years. And not that I can see Josh doing mind games. I think it's still way too early in his career to say that. But Bottas wouldn't. Max would, Charles would.
Yeah.
The world class drivers would, rather than your average drivers wouldn't.
Ooh, Bottas has just been given the same track rod.
Yeah.
Message.
Been told to take it easy on 7 and 8. It's, I think if you look back that sort of mind games like you had with Rosberg and Hamilton, it's like when you had Senna and Prost, and sort of Senna has the attitude of the first corner at Japan. He said, well, if I don't get through it, then he ain't going to get through it. And he took him out. The next year, Prost did the same thing. And that level of sort of rivalry is what you need at the front of Formula One for me. Anyway, that's when I first started watching it.
Yeah.
I don't think George needs to start it. I think he's just proven it on the track.
Yes, there's that as well. Yes.
George hasn't got that
8.2 seconds now.
Phenomenal.
That's crazy.
He's undercutted him, hasn't he? Really, because he's gone into pits first as well. So, and there's only 2 laps difference on their tyres, so it shouldn't really make much difference at the end of the race either, with a bit of luck.
I tell you one thing that I haven't noticed a lot of yet. We're 53 laps in, and there was a lot of talk of traffic with lapping people.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
How are they going to kind of work it? How's it going to work? And it doesn't seem to have been a problem. Like in qualifying, everyone was pretty good at getting out of each other's way.
Yes, they were.
It makes a change because Monza is an absolute mess normally for that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe this track is a good layout because you can overtake rather than like some tracks are just horrendous. And I think that does make a difference.
This has definitely got to be one of the best of Tilke's tracks.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this track is properly becoming a classic.
Bottas taken half a second out of George on that last lap.
Oh wow!
Power is low on the straights.
Should we have another random fact?
Yeah, go for it.
Go on then. Whilst onboard cameras used previously for tests and other things, does anyone know the year they were first fitted to a race car? What year was the first onboard race?
I can remember in the early 90s when I started watching, it was just constantly static. It was either on the front wing or I think where it is now on the on a little T-bar above the driver's head. And it was just, as soon as they went over a bump, you lost the picture. It was terrible.
It was 1985.
Oh, wow.
Francois Hesnault was the lucky driver, and when he was driving a Renault. There you go.
I must admit, I think I've seen some early Spa footage. So yeah, it's got to be earlier than 90s. Yeah.
Oh, Latifi's out.
Oh,
what a shock! That's exactly what we said earlier. He is now the first person. Everyone's like, "Oh, is it Latifi?"
Yeah.
He's just a waste.
He didn't spin.
Obviously.
At least he's pulled over in a decent spot.
That's true.
That car looks
Do we think
two different colours.
Like the safety car?
It'll be a virtual safety car, I'd have thought. Virtual safety car incoming, I hear. That's twice now. Hey.
Which is good. Because they've both now got to do the same speed, so hopefully they can't catch up.
Yeah, let's have that for the next 20 lap stuff, I reckon. That'll do. So what happened? Did he just... Oh, this is someone else. Gasly going past Vettel.
Poor Vettel.
Carlos, I think, has had a pretty good race so far. He's still third. He's 3 seconds in front of Daniel. And 3 seconds is going to be an odd gap because if they're on the same time... Oh, has he just come in?
Yep.
Norris,
no, that's Lando. I think...
Yeah, it was Lando.
Sainz has got a good chance of getting another podium here, depending whether tyres come into it. I'm not quite sure who pitted first.
Oh, they've
fuck
Vettel again.
Yep, someone pressed the fuck Vettel button again.
Jesus.
And nearly went into Giovinazzi on the way out too.
Yep.
Green flag.
Dear God.
Virtual safety car has ended, but George got 9.6 seconds ahead. So he gained, 1.6 seconds then?
Yeah, he has. He's 5.7 now.
Oh, no, now it's 5. What?
No, now it's gone down to 5.
Yeah.
Right, so we got Sainz.
I wonder if that was they're on... Here. Oh, I don't know.
How has he done that?
So Perez has now brought himself up to 5th.
Because he's gone on the long strategy, hasn't he? He's on the hard tyre.
Yeah. Oh,
he's going...
Bye-bye, Stroll.
When you think of where the Perez has come from in terms of his start of the race, he's come from the back, and now he's passed his teammate as well, just to rub it in.
He could be on for a podium here.
Yeah,
all the way from the back onto the podium.
If he gets a podium, in my mind, Red Bull have to take him. You just have to do it. I don't, unless they can't manage Max and Perez because it will go to shit. But you surely have to put him in there. Like, it's just criminal.
Russell is lucky Bottas took his pit stop before the VSC. Yeah, correct. Because that's what happened to Lewis the other week, wasn't it? And Duff has voted on Perez. Yep. I've already voted on George. Yes, and we'll see how the race pans out. Whether there's any
30 laps to go now. It's weird to say we're on lap 58 and there's still 30 laps to go.
But half hour. So
that's mad.
Grand, absolutely grand.
I mean, Ocon's up in 4th.
Yeah,
is that
that's true.
From the early pit stops?
I think it was a safety car saviour there for him. He was in the right place at the right time.
Albon up to 6th.
So the only thing with Perez now is that hard tyre going to last, because he did go on that. Did he go on that on the second lap or something?
Yes.
First lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Is it going to last? Is it going to last? 86 laps. He might need another virtual safety car or a safety car for him to cement that place.
Yeah, he probably will.
I still can't believe how much speed he has on that tyre.
I can't believe it's not better.
I say that he's 25 seconds in front of Ocon, is he? Or is he 1 second?
Yeah, he's
1 second.
Yeah, he's 25 behind Bottas.
I was there like, wow, he's got a pit stop now.
So even though that gap came down under the virtual safety car, it's not gone down in the 3 laps they've done since he came on. So I think for now George has probably got him, which is good. So that I don't know how he's managed to gain that 4 seconds. That's cheeky, really, but still, it does happen. Depends. I think it depends where you are on like the track when the VSC is called for. Like if you're on the straight, you're going to be going quicker, aren't you? So you're bound to gain some time.
Perez has pitted twice.
I thought
so he had that first one.
I missed that second one.
Yeah, so did I. But he's got all this speed on the hard tyre, and he doesn't need to pit again.
Oh well, happy days for him then. That's job done.
So Daniel Ricciardo's on his second pit stop. Yeah, Ocon's going for 1 stop by the looks of it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it must be. No, fastest lap for Bottas.
So I wonder how quick Perez is going a lap faster than Russell and Bottas, and how close within 27 laps he can get. Because he's just been told to go flat out till the end.
Well, I'd be amazed if you can catch Bottas and Russell. Because you would imagine that Bottas and Russell have got it turned down, haven't they? They're not going to be having hammer time for it. They're going to be...
And it's gone back down to 4.9 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I'm stressing over a 5-second gap. Like, it's 5 seconds.
It's only
that's a big part of this lap now.
It's only because Bottas did the fastest lap of the race last time round.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
But the question is he taking that out on 7 and 8?
That's it, isn't it?
And he's got a bit more on his tyres as well because he pitted later.
But if he's going to thrash his tyres trying to catch him and George can just manage it, then hopefully you'll have enough tyre left at the end to go, bye, and then crack on. Let's hope anyway. He only lost a 10th that last lap, so.
The chat on the stream I've got here is just everyone going, Bottas, please lock your tyres.
We want Bottas to come. Bottas.
Someone's lost a wing.
Definitely. Ooh, it's a front wing.
Oh no!
There it is. That's a
yellow flag, sector 3. Oh, that's in the track.
It's got to be a safety car.
Might be safety car
because you got to get someone onto the track, haven't you?
Virtual safety car.
So this could really benefit Perez if he comes in again.
Yes, that would be a good time. On the track. If he needs to.
And potentially Ocon, because he's only done 1 stop.
Yeah.
So this could be Ocon's highest spot potentially.
Oh, look, the gap's back up to 9.7 now. That's good.
Oh,
I wonder if
how is
that's
this happening?
dependent on safety car
No,
starts at the same
7.
for all of them. Oh wow, that's right at the pit lane. How
Oh.
did that?
Oh, nicely done, Jack. Nicely done.
Oh,
Oh wow,
gee.
that was lucky.
It was, wasn't it?
You could have done an Albon there. Big time.
Look at those marshals running away.
That was so lucky.
And then he just drove
Who's
into the
that?
pit
Oh, it's
lane.
Albon, isn't it? Yeah.
I was just about to say, actually, Jack Aitken compared to Fittipaldi has done a fabulous job. I mean, obviously, Fittipaldi has the Ferrari power unit, which we all know is a bit shocking this year. But before his crash, he was doing pretty well.
He's just put his foot down a bit too early, isn't he? George has come in the pits.
Soft tires.
Oh, look, they've double stacked him and they fucked it up.
Yes. What?
They've double stacked him and they fucked off. They fucked
Valtteri. Come on, George.
Oh, yes.
That is superb.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes.
Mercedes
They haven't had the tyres out.
They have
Oh,
no.
Oh, that has gone dreadfully wrong.
Oh, this is... For those who are watching, they've...
Perez for P2.
Oh, brakes are on fire.
Go.
Perez has got a chance for P2 here. Oh,
go.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So for those... Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow, that was... I don't think I've seen a worse Mercedes stop in a long time.
No,
they are slick.
They were way too close to double stack.
And
I think they just found the fuck button. Oh, wow.
Do we think potentially Mercedes, due to Lewis getting COVID, had to change some of the mechanics? Because I know they had to do that or Williams had to do that for Turkey, which may explain why that was horrendous.
From what I heard, when Lewis does all his mechanics briefings, he basically goes to his office and does it all on Zoom.
Yeah. I know
he's been really strict with the COVID, which is safety car.
Oh, they're getting Bottas to come in again, I think.
That's not what we...
No!
What have they said? What's happening?
They've got a mixed set of tyres on George.
Oh, he's going to get a penalty then. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Change one of the tyres quickly.
They've got to do it again. So yeah, they've got some of Bottas's tyres on George.
Oh, come on, George, put your foot down.
Oh my God.
Come out in all the traffic. Mercedes clicked fucked. Oh, what? That wouldn't happen if Lewis was
behind Bottas.
Yeah.
What? I need to tweet.
Oh my God.
That is dreadful. But it's like safety car, so they're all going to be closer together. If he's got the pace, then he'll get past him, won't he?
Yeah. 64 laps.
There's plenty of time.
64 laps. They got fresh tyres.
Depends what penalty he gets for it.
They're going to both get a penalty, surely, because...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cock-up, That's a cock-up. Unbelievable.
And they've realised there that they don't have all of Bottas's tyres.
Yeah. And they're pointing that he's gone. Yeah. Wow. Well, there's still time. Depending on what penalty they give George and Valtteri for it, mind. But it should probably just a 5-seconder.
Wait, I've realised why this has happened. Netflix is with George this weekend. Blame Netflix.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, but we want George to win. Although if Perez wins now and then doesn't get a seat next year.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we'll see. So who's actually leading now? Because I missed who's... Because if George has come in... Is it Perez leading now?
Yeah, this front jack guy noticed.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Wow. So for those not watching, Mercedes have just had a massive mare in the pit stops which could have lost George the race.
George and
they're already
Bottas.
having a debrief on what happened.
So George is P5 and Bottas is P4. But they're only...
It's a safety
they are
car.
quicker. Fundamentally, they are quicker than Racing Point and Ocon.
And George is on a faster tyre because he's on mediums, whereas Valtteri's on the hard. So that's another bonus, potentially.
They've basically told George now, go for it.
Tires. Come on, George!
Will George get a penalty? I know it's usually a penalty if you have a mixed set, but is it a penalty for having Valtteri's tyres?
Don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know. It should be a team penalty rather than the driver penalty. That's the thing. But
yes, definitely,
because it's not Russell's fault.
Because
he's just got to put his foot down and go for it, isn't he?
You know, Mercedes have been so slick for years. Yeah. They've been so slick in just about everything they do. That is so out of character.
Yeah, massively.
I can't believe what we witnessed there, quite frankly.
So this then becomes the same question we had at the start. When was the last time Perez had to do a safety car restart?
It's been a while. Possibly, did he do it when he was at McLaren? Possibly.
Oh, I don't know.
But I would have thought it's been a while.
I'm not sure.
So that's 2 pink Mercedes and a Renault, and then the Mercs.
Yeah. Did Mercedes really need to pit?
Don't know.
No, they were absolutely fine. Yeah. But they probably did it on safety car. But there's no Max. Max isn't there to challenge it. Who is their next challenger?
No. I don't understand why. Perhaps they were marginal on what's George saying. Should be a big tyre advantage, George has been told.
Yes, a nice bit of swearing from George. Get in there.
What did he say?
What did he say?
They said, you should be okay. You've got fresher tyres then. And George said, I fucking hope so.
Good lad. Good lad.
George is so British on the radio. Like, he comes out with the most British things ever. And I think he's just great. He's so, for the media as well, he's so rounded. I think he's so professional. I think I've had this conversation with a friend. Like, he kind of reminds me of like Damon Hill-esque, the way he conducts himself.
I think he said yesterday in the post-qualifying chat, didn't he? He said, I'm just going to get my balls out and go for it. And I was like, nice. That's what we want to hear, Georgie boy. Do you know what?
I could see him easily taking over for Lewis. I think George could have the mind games to be number one.
Yeah, how nice is it to be watching a Formula One and excited that a British driver might win a race? That's great, isn't it? I do miss these days.
What you mean, like last week and the week before, and
yeah, but I wasn't excited because Lewis was going to win it because it's just Lewis, isn't it? But it's like when Lewis first started, and I used to punch the air and get excited when he got in the lead and stuff, and now it's kind of okay. Since much
George
more fun.
Russell added to their Instagram story just now. I don't think he did. I think his team added to his story Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they would have done, yeah. Well, let's have another random fact in whilst we're on here. Sebastian Vettel holds the F1 record for the shortest time elapsed before picking up a penalty. He was caught speeding in the pit lane in practice for the 2006 Turkish Grand Prix immediately after he exited the garage. So just 9 seconds into his Formula One career, he got a $1,000 fine.
Nice.
I like that one. That was a funny one.
Safety car is ending. We are getting a Perez restart.
Excellent. Ooh. Excellent. Quick one for you to think about, really Duff. Go on.
How Ocon does, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's in second, isn't he? That's a good point.
Now, do you reckon George will go for it up the inside?
Yep, he's going to send it full send.
He's got to get past Bottas.
Yeah, that's the key. He's got to get past him. Oh, Bottas team radio.
Bottas.
I'm sorry, people who know me, but it's all I've got. Oh, Lance Stroll, what is wrong with you?
Whoa!
That's
that
knackered
could have made
tyres.
it a lot easier for George.
Come on in, George. He's right behind him. That's good.
Right, let's go.
Yes.
DR,
Perez
no,
with a good
no, DR.
restart.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Did a good job there.
Come on.
Here comes George.
In the slipstream.
Or
Come
if
on,
they-
George. Come on, George. Out wide. Oh, no.
No, he's going for the inside line.
Just don't lose a
No.
wing, George. That's all you need to do.
No.
Now he's up his backside. Go on, George. Oh,
Yes, go on. Oh,
Go,
no,
go,
he's
go.
not.
got a bit.
Oh,
The thing is, don't battle too long because Sykes is behind him and he's
Yeah.
catching.
They've got to get after the front three, haven't they?
they either need to do team orders now until they can battle in front, or just
Yeah.
Perez definitely does not need to pit. Ocon and Stroll, not sure, but Perez definitely does not need to pit. Chaz.
2.5 lead already. Okay. Come on, George.
Yes, he must be.
Here we go.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Russell. Come on, Russell. How far ahead
You
is your stream, Chaz? That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Oh, here we go. I think we might. Nope.
This is what I hate. We're guessing now. When's
Here he goes.
Bottas goes wide.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go on.
He bottled it.
Round the
As per-
outside.
Yeah.
Go on. Round the
Yes,
outside.
boyo.
Go on. Oh.
Go on.
Chaz,
That
you
was
are right,
amazing.
master.
Oh.
Wow.
We'll
He is
take that,
such
George.
a
Get in
talent.
there.
Right, come on.
How do you
let's
like
get
those
Danny
apples, Bottas?
right.
Bottle S. I'm gonna say.
Even though we knew, Chaz, it was still worth it. It was still worth it.
That was beautiful, Jez. You are quite correct. So it should be.
We have 16 laps. Do we
Bottas
think
strikes
that's
again.
enough? Ting.
And my stream is playing up with him as well.
Crofty,
Genius.
he's wearing racing boots that are a lap too short.
A lap too short. Oh dear.
Oh,
That
is a great
onboard
move.
is some great viewing, isn't it?
such a great move on outside to inside. Brilliant. Oh, we're getting spoilers now. This is incredible.
I was going to say, if he's got
I was
Perez
going to
already,
say
that'd
it's
be
got to be
impressive.
Stroll. Yeah, if it was Perez, that is an incredible move. Sorry, can you see the Twitch chat? Because otherwise we're just talking at nothing. I apologise.
Not really. I can't really see any of the
Oh,
comments.
Chaz has got the stream slightly ahead of us. So apparently he's already taken Stroll. Into corner one. Here we go.
Nicely
Oh
done.
no, my laptop's going to die. No.
Power. Get power.
Oh, come on, George. Lovely.
Georgie
Great
boy.
move down the inside.
Georgie boy. Now
We are charging.
This is
He's
an
got to
embarrassment
do
for
this.
Bottas.
To fear.
I can't imagine a more determined
Oh.
person on that grid.
No. That's fantastic.
Magnussen, black and white flag.
Black and white flag. Ooh.
Come on, George.
Yep. Taking shortcuts.
Track
Limit.
limits.
Magnussen.
Yeah, be track limits. Let's have a look. So Aiken's still left.
That is the most, George is the most
Oh,
determined
my
driver
heart's
on this
getting
grid now.
faster now.
This might happen, folks. This might happen.
This is where you see
This is what
it
I
comes
love
down
about.
to the driver,
Oh.
not the car.
Mm.
Look how close he is. Look how close he
Oh,
is.
that was close.
I mean, the car helped.
Oh, so close in that corner.
It's going to go after Ocon now. So, yeah, Bottas, you can stay there. Don't bother going past. Oh, he's got him with DRS. Easy meat.
Yes.
Easy meat. Captain Sarro, nice for you to join us. Hope you're well,
Yeah.
matey boy.
My heart's
I love
beating
that.
faster. Like,
The suspense, the race, the dying laptop. Is there anything this stream doesn't have?
No, we've got it all here, pal. We've got it all.
Oh,
Look, they've
brilliant.
got a Russell mask in the Williams pit. Look at that on the side.
That's a little creepy.
That's funny.
Oh, that's
I
brilliant.
bet they're watching this. Like, that's the driver. Look at
Yep.
him go.
Yeah, you would think Williams would be
Right.
happy for him, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Oh,
come
definitely. Definitely. Come on.
Yes, Jez, you
I
can
bet
go
it's
for a
like
piss.
their podium
We'll be
as
all right.
much as it's a Mercedes podium.
Look, Bottas is struggling.
Yep.
So
He really is.
we saw this at Monza as well. He just cannot pass. He has literally no wheel-to-wheel battle. Like,
and it's not like they've
I
come on
can't
the
really
radio and
remember-
mentioned anything about that left front brake. It was clearly not that big a problem.
Yeah.
No, I think it was just because it was stood still for longer than it normally is when it caught fire, isn't it, I guess? As soon as he got going, he probably put it out. Well, it must have, otherwise the car would have caught fire. But yeah, Carlos Sainz hasn't kept up with his early form, has he? He's in 6th.
But neither has Ricciardo. They've both been like fighting each other, but they're just that bit.
Yeah, they've slipped backwards
behind. But we still got Albon and 8, equally showing how he is horrendous.
And the AlphaTauris have slipped back as well because they were doing well at the start, weren't they?
Mm.
Kvyat and Gasly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9th and 10th now.
Yeah, he had the undercut.
Yes.
Poor Danny Rick down in 7th. He
seems to be struggling in 11th.
Yeah, Danny Rick was 4th for a lot of that.
It's weird that Bottas can't get past Stroller, isn't it? He's just sat there.
Carlos Sainz has been on the radio having a massive go at Bottas for how dodgy he's defending.
Moving around.
Yeah.
I think this just, out of any race, this just proves Bottas is just there for number 2. There is nothing to Bottas.
Definitely.
I don't personally know anyone that's like a massive Bottas fan either.
Fastest lap for George.
Like, you know, he's not one of those drivers with a massive popularity.
No, not at all.
Would
if you're finished, you go Raikkonen.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. I think he may as well be finished. I'll say it.
Terrible. Kick him out.
Oh.
Fastest lap for George, by the way, folks, down to 2.6.
That's not even a good dad joke for Jez's stream. Come on.
So, Captain Sarah says, I like seeing 3 faces up there. This looks good today. Thank you for the feedback, Captain Sarah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It means you're not just staying an hour at me and Duff for a change, which is nice.
I feel like it's like Celebrity Squares. I kind of feel like I'm centre square at the moment. It's a bit weird.
The next question, Duff, is for £100. Bottas is like a glass of room temperature milk. It's still drinkable, but really, would you? Nah, there's better alternatives. Well said, Captain Pharaoh. That's perfect. Perfect.
That is absolutely perfect.
And analogy of the week goes to Captain Sarah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And next to that, you've got a can of Red Bull, and that's Max.
Yeah. I know what I'd prefer. So,
gin and orange?
How are we doing on the poll here? Don't forget to get your votes in, folks. Exclamation mark vote, and then the name of the
hang on.
short name of the driver. 10 laps to go.
Is that an omission from the future? Bottas aha from Chaz. Does that mean Sainz maybe over? Yes, it's Sainz. Sainz is having a go.
Shit, man.
He's passed.
Sainz
is passed.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I'm going to get comfortable for this last couple of minutes.
Hang on. Has he got a problem?
Yeah.
You know who's next?
He's got a problem.
Yeah, there's something happening.
Are we going to get Esteban Ocon on the podium?
They're all having a go.
I cannot believe.
I think it's the tyres, He can't get them puncture.
It's bad when...
Puncture, maybe.
The future tells us that it's a puncture.
It's bad when
How did he get that?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it was fighting Sainz potentially.
Yeah, possibly.
Close.
Here we go.
Yeah, rear left puncture.
I think I'm in shock with Albon.
Russell's radio. I was just telling him that.
Yeah, I thought Russell had one, and then I was like, no.
I thought it was like George has got a puncture. Oh my god.
Don't. I've kind of the dynamics between Bono and George. I love Bono as an engineer. I think he's the coolest guy, but I don't know. I don't think him and George are working. So obviously,
it was George that had the puncture. George in the pits.
Oh, what?
No. What are they doing this under a safety? Why?
Jesus.
Why?
9 laps to go.
Oh,
He's ruined it. That's ruined it.
Oh, Jesus.
You are.
What are we?
Another
12th,
angry
13th,
tweet.
14th? Oh my God! It's no different than him being in a bloody
Williams.
At
least he should get
He's
a
not
point.
going to get points.
No,
No.
he will.
Are you kidding me?
Still not going to get a point.
Yeah, he will. He's on the softs. He should fly past the 10th.
Perez for his first win.
Yeah. Wow.
Mad.
Head down, foot down, go for it. See where you end up.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a absolute disaster.
So then what was it for
That's a
Bottas
blow.
then? Just terribleness.
Shite. Tires, he can't get those hard tires to work by the looks of it. Oh, man. That's up to 14.
We're going to get a double.
Russell could still get a point.
Oh,
He'll
yeah,
get fastest lap.
Yes, that's true. Well, he should do on the soft tires.
So we could have a double racing point podium here, which would be massive in the constructors.
That's a really big point, actually.
That could seal them.
Who would have said at the end of today it would be Racing Point and Renault taking over the podium?
And Ocon knocked Danny Rick as well.
Yeah. Although the way Sainz was going.
Absolute.
What a turn up for the books that is.
Russell's already up to 14th. He's done one place already.
Yeah.
But he ain't going to make up 22 seconds in 6 laps.
No. Nope. Oh, man. I was getting ready for a Russell win then.
Well, Lewis has got to get over the virus
I feel like
and come back with 4 negative tests before he can race. So George could still be racing in that car next week and he'll be even more determined.
I hope he is. Keep leaning on the tyres to tell him Perez.
What's the team radio to?
They're telling Perez not to slow down, but keep leaning on the tyres to keep the temperature up. So he must be having trouble getting temperature into the tyres as well, which I think is what the problem Bottas was having. Oh, Russell's being investigated after the race now for tyres as well. Oh, for God's sake. Although we knew that was coming, really.
Oh, fuck off.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
Well, this puts Perez 4th in the Drivers' Championship, so he'd be best of the rest.
Yeah. There's another one for
That's
George.
Huge. The fact that Perez missed... Did he miss 2?
Yeah.
2 races?
Yeah, 2,
Silverstone.
Silverstone twice, I think. Yeah. So he's up to 13th is George. Go, George. Come on. He's only got to make up a couple of seconds. You can, because who's in 10th? Norris. Oh, but I want Norris to score points as well.
No, George. Well, we see Lando on the podium. We need George points.
Go on then. Come on, George.
Yeah, 4 seconds he's got to make up to get to do Norris.
This is the F1 I want. We've had a bunch of dull years. It's been great. It has been great, and it all coincided with us starting this show. Not that I'm taking credit in any way, shape, or form, but the first race we did was action-packed, and it's been pretty much like that since. It's been chaos. Let's hope for more.
True, we have only got this action because Mercedes
cocked up.
Otherwise, they would have been 20-odd seconds ahead of everyone.
Oh, yeah. And Georgie Borgie would have been having a win.
Do we not think, this stuff never happens when Lewis is with the team?
I just don't understand why they double stacked.
And the only time he isn't.
It made no sense.
It's so flawed.
It was just such a silly thing to do at that point in the race.
Hopefully Ted will put us right later on.
It was that they could have gone to the end. He could have gone to the end.
So here's George again. He's up to 12th.
Fuming, absolutely fuming.
He's still got time to do it. We've still got time. So he should get this one down the straight with a bit of luck. Who's he got to catch? Vettel next. Yes. Yeah, easy. Come on. Where's Albon still? 6th. Well done, George. That's up into 11th. If there had been another 10 or 12 laps or 20 laps, he would have got...
Yeah, he would have been back up there again.
Yeah.
I want him to win at Abu Dhabi now.
What if he gets past Bottas on
Right,
the
so
last
then-
lap?
Did you hear that? Yeah. George
No.
might get close to Bottas on the last lap.
Yeah, it's 5
He
seconds.
could still beat Bottas.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? I'd be happy with that. I mean, he's passed him once, so why not pass him again?
He's passed him twice.
Yes, true. Jez is claiming it. We have improved the sport. Fair play, Jez. You can claim it. That's fine.
Is that just because you're stuck with us every race?
Yeah,
You
Jez
don't
has
have
never
much
watched
of
so
a
much
choice.
Formula One. He's never watched so much Formula One as he has.
Oh.
Particularly as we're heading
Come
into
on, George.
NFL time
Come
now
on,
as well.
George. How are the Bears doing? Mystical voice in our ears. Oh,
I hear the Bears are winning 9-6. Just a rumor. So where are we now? 11th. Come on then. Come on. Just keep the camera. In fact, just go on board with George the rest of this
Gasly
race.
might be struggling on his tyres. That's going to help.
Yep, we'll have that
Russell's
as well.
11th.
Yep, that'll do me. It's just not fair on George if he finishes 11th, is it? How
not
cruel
at
is
all.
that? Because he won't even get the point for fastest lap because you've got to be in the top 10 to get that.
I mean, Perez deserves this win.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
He was 18th. And that's just such an incredible drive. But I just feel so sorry for George because he had this in the bag.
Yeah. I mean, if it was something that he'd done, fair play, wouldn't it? But it ain't, is it? Here's George. He's right behind him. He's right behind him.
He's in a DRS train.
Yeah, so that puts Racing Point on 194 points, which takes him ahead of McLaren who would be on 185. There we go. Well done, George.
Come on, George. Come on, George.
Come on, George.
Let's get Lando now as well.
Yes.
He's
in
Lando.
the points, finally.
Lando, get out the way.
This is going to be a battle because whoever wins this battle, they're good friends, Norris and Russell. So yeah, this one's down to pride.
And they troll each other all the time. They're hilarious.
Constantly. They take the piss out of him for being in that Williams.
I loved watching the esports they did during sort of when all this was delayed, and they were just constantly ripping it out of each other. It was hilarious. That was the only good thing about the first lockdown was the e sports racing they did with like Leclerc and the rest of it. It was good fun.
Scott Lando.
Oh, Jez has got a dilemma here. Does he vote for George Russell as Racer of the Week, but then curse him for next week?
Well, but we either curse them or they tend to win. So
so it could be good for George.
Yeah, because Fittipaldi's last, so that's carried on. So that's fine. So Aitken's got past him.
Here he goes, Perez to win.
Well done, Perez.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one hell of a drive.
Well done. Wow.
Russell up to 9th is done Norris.
Yeah.
He's not going to do Bottas, though.
Esteban Ocon.
Oh.
Second. And is this Stroll's third podium of the year?
Could well be.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he had Monza and he had what was the other one? Can't even remember now.
Wow.
Amazing. Well done, Force India. Not Force India. How far am I going back? Racing Point.
I still call them that.
Jordan. Let's just go even further back. Well done, Jordan.
That works for me. Wow. If you could have said that to me.
Look at all the mechanics.
At the
and
start
this
of
is
this
the
race.
driver who doesn't have a drive next year. It's incredible.
Race winner. Now, isn't he? Legitimately can call himself that.
Yeah.
Well
done. As Chaz says, second to last race and his first victory.
Well, it's a tie currently in the old... Oh, no, it isn't. Sorry, Jez is voting for Russell, so get your votes in quickly before we close it, those that haven't. Exclamation mark, vote, space, and then your driver.
People are saying that's an unfair victory in this chat stream. He worked for that all the way through.
Definitely. Yeah, you can't really take it away from him, Perez.
You cannot knock him at all for that. He was 18th after that incident on the first lap. That is a stunning drive and a well-managed tyre situation as well.
Fernando. We'd love to see George again next week to get there. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Right.
George deserves another drive in that car.
Yeah, I totally agree on that front.
Absolutely.
After them screwing that up, that's
But
ridiculous.
Bottas will be like, I beat George.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely job.
Even though George wiped the floor with him.
Twice.
Yeah.
If I was Mercedes, I'd be seriously thinking, I wonder if the ink is dry on that contract the Bottas just signed yet. If I can get some Tipex out. George Russell. There we go.
Oh, your contract appears to have been burnt in some sort of mysterious fire.
Oh, we've shredded it by accident.
Archon can't even get his car in that.
George Russell did that yesterday. He nearly took the back end off.
Yeah.
George
Come on, jump off the top of that car.
Chaz, you're correct.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh.
I cannot believe we have seen Pierre Gasly and now Perez win
It's been
this year.
Such a great season.
Who would have thought? It's been like a predictable championship, but unpredictable racing.
Yeah.
And George has won it.
That's how I sum it up.
George has won the votes. That must mean he's going to drive next week and win.
Gotta be.
Please, George, please.
Because we don't want to curse him. So the predictions for next week: George returns. Lewis Hamilton joins NASCAR. Bottas is accidentally boarded onto a SpaceX shuttle and sent to Mars. We in agreement? Yes, we are, Captain Sarah.
Yes, definitely.
That works for me, mate. If you can get on with arranging that, then that's cool, and I'll see you next week. I'm well up for that. That'll be grand. It's a good result for Renault as well.
Yeah, what a great podium.
Throw it out there, yeah.
What a great podium.
Rather it was Danny Rick, so we'd be having a shoey, but
none of the big two on there at all. Brilliant.
Yeah. Where did Vettel finish in the end?
He finished his classic P11.
Yeah, 12th, 22 seconds.
They should name P11 P Vettel now.
Yeah, they should do, shouldn't they? Aiken got up to 16th, so he finished ahead of Fittipaldi.
Oh, that's good.
So he wasn't last.
Where did
even after that
end?
18th.
Oh no, he was out.
His engine went. Other notable ones, I suppose. Kvyat got up to 7th in the end. It's not too bad.
It's nice to see
and Sainz
everyone's team who's on that podium super happy.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that in a long time.
Normally they stood there clapping. Yep, another podium, lads. Well done. Yeah, scratch my head like, and that's that. No, that's good. And yeah, I think it was. I'd certainly class it as a good race. To be fair, action packed. Thankfully, less fiery than last week, and, which is good. And absolutely gutted for George, though. I got to say.
Oh, totally.
It's going to take some.
I'm I don't know if George is going to be pleased he finally got his points, or just bitterly disappointed.
I think he's going to be gutted.
Yeah, I mean,
it should have been his.
I wonder if Mercedes will take responsibility in that, because he drove the perfect race.
See you, Chaz.
There was nothing in George. Obviously, I don't know what caused his puncture, but he drove the best he could have done.
It's purely the team's fault. Purely the team's fault.
To be honest, I'll be a little bit disappointed if he isn't gutted.
Yes.
It's that attitude, it's that mentality, isn't it? That sort of says.
Well, you can tell when he came on the radio after the first mess and was like, I fucking hope that I can do this. And then to have the second problem.
Yeah. Oh, wow, what a race.
Bless
well,
him.
We'll start to wrap it up there, folks.
Yeah.
And,
obviously,
thank you, Aimee, for joining us.
Eventually, we'll get through these discussion points that you put in the notes 3 weeks ago. But the last 3 weeks have been so eventful, we've barely managed to get through any of it.
We normally put loads of notes for things for us to talk about, but we just got nowhere near it the past 3 weeks. But hopefully next week, and we'll get around to it.
No, thanks for joining us, Aimee. Hopefully you enjoyed it on here with us.
Absolutely. And where can people find you on the internet?
I had great fun.
Where can people find you on Twitter?
I am
F1
F1_Aimee.
There we go, everybody. Drop
on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter.
Brill. Drop Aimee a
and I
follow,
think
everybody.
Jez is going to stick the blog link up as well in the chat for anyone that wants that. I think he did that before, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh,
perfect. So yeah, hopefully you'll come join us again.
Absolutely.
It's been so much fun.
That's fine. And
there we go. There's the link. Perfect.
Yeah, and this is the last stream of the week on the Jez Show Network. I believe the honour falls to us, and but there's lots more to come up. And Duff, do you want to talk us through what's coming up on the network next week?
Next week we start as we usually do with 2-minute warning from 9 o'clock, which is back on the Jez Show Network's feed with everything NFL that's gone on today and tonight. Then after that, we have Rooster Beast on with Uncharted Waters 2 from midnight. Tuesday, we have the main roster kicking off at 3 o'clock with a bumper edition. Then Tuesday evening from 6:30, we have our own Rhysage 1, who's on American Truck Simulator again. Then, after that, always be chatting. I'll be beginning the second playthrough of Detroit Become Human at 7:30. That is a random game.
Wank mode enabled. It's just the best thing.
It's all the bits I've seen are really bleak.
Yeah, it's fantastic though. It really is funny.
And
he makes it so much fun. It's really good.
Oh, definitely. And then as you can see on the screen, there's so much more to come this week. So keep in tune with the network and find out what's going on.
And we'll see you next Sunday for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which I believe we'll probably do the whole race again. I would have thought this seems to be an improvement. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. It's been great fun.
Absolutely. So it's a goodbye from me.
Perfect.
And you can say goodbye if you want as well, definitely. We can all say goodbye. Right, we'll see you all next week for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and hopefully George Russell win. Thank you for joining us, people. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.